I'm Rocco. I'm the tech guy who spent 33 years creating bugs. Solving computer bugs.
And I'm Gloria. I spent a large sum of years shaping young minds, and it was fun.
I was born with curiosity and a lot of free time. Latch kid, child, and all. Um, there was nothing I didn't break trying to figure out how it worked. I always had the patience to break it, but I never had the patience to put it back together. Oh well, a little destructive, but at the end of the day, I learned quite a bit.
I've always been pretty serious and independent. I always took care of everything on my own, and I had a plan A, B, and C, and that made sure that I didn't have to worry. Although I still often worried a lot, but that just gave me more inspiration. Just kill it and make my plan A actually a success.
Yeah, we obviously started from different parts of the mental landscape. I'm more of a do it and then find out if it was a good thing to do. And got me into some trouble, but like I said, it opened up quite a big world for me.
Actually, that's what made you pretty interesting when I met you. The fact that a lot of things you weren't afraid of, and you weren't afraid of failure. I actually think we're pretty much on paper, very incompatible. And I think it was beach days and sunny ways that actually keeps us still clicking together because we're so different.
Well, you know, my DNA and yours is too, as well, if you're human, is about 99.9% of what an orangutan's DNA is. So, judging from that, it doesn't take a lot to be different.
Yeah, sure, that's it. You like to be out in the jungle. I'm happy to have tea with the queen.
Yeah, so my work never started, or my attitude was not preparation for my career, because I didn't even take computers in high school. It was kind of an accidental evolution, let's say, while trying to take a business administration course in college.
I don't even think computers was available in high school. I mean, our first computer course at our high school, I was in grade 11 at the time. So I don't even think it was available when you were going to school. But we definitely did see the start of computer science. And I remember careers day, and they came and to our school, and they were telling us about careers in computers, and you could make $18,000 a year, and no one was interested in that. They were all interested in the fashion program.
Well, I wasn't really interested in computers in high school. I was interested in girls, drugs, and booze, pretty much. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I guess, is the adage. So much so that I actually took a typing class because I was maybe one of three guys in the class. And ironically, that typing class kind of helped me out because I was able to fake touch typing after I did get into computers, ironically enough. My first courses with computers didn't even really have much of a keyboard. It was punch cards. So, yeah, I was intrigued with the logic of putting instructions down and actually having a computer execute them exactly the way they were put down. Kind of positioned me to be the emperor of my existence, which I'm now trying to embrace. You know, working in the tech industry was kind of strange. I always felt like I was the extra man out. Nobody knew anything about computers. There was just a very small group of enthusiasts, and maybe those were more centered around gaming than actually understanding how it's made up, what makes a computer and things like that. I started so early in the 80s there. My first computer was, like an IBM, pretty much a 286, which is quite, it's like the first IBM computer type of situation with 2 floppy drives. And in those days, the computers just beeped. I do remember taking it apart, and there was some cool technology coming in called, I think it was called Real Audio, which allowed you to wire up some stuff and actually produce, vocals. And I think the first thing I had was, "Help, I'm trapped inside this computer." There was a voice coming from the computer, and it was pretty
That's your sense of humor coming out right there.
Pretty riveting. Well, it was actually a meme for the time, I think, when audio started being generated on the computer. Now they have dedicated cards and so forth, but at the time it was the same processor that was just going through trying to do it. Anyway, that's essentially, deconstructing things and then trying to put them back together has, like I said, has been my life before. And
that's interesting. I actually see that across all aspects of you, since I've been married to you for all these years. But it's funny, because typing class, I haven't thought about typing class in a long time, but that was my homeroom in grade 9, was typing class. And I got 51% in that class. And I think the teacher passed me because my typing speed was so horrible, because I was making all these errors all the time, that when we got our first report, one guy started laughing at me and said, "Look at her. She's getting, 85 in geography, and she's barely passing typing class." But, my parents thought it was great. Learn how to type and become a secretary. So I was pushed into that in grade 10, I took business procedures. Even though I was a horrible, horrible typist, I was a very good speaker. I was great in the presentations, but I just could not do the whole typing aspect of it. And so eventually by grade 11, I stopped taking those business classes. And even though my parents really wanted me to be a secretary, because they thought that was a really, really good job, that it was indoors and it was in the office and it was clean. Really, if you look at me, my strength was always school and studying, because I really killed it in history, geography, French, Italian, languages in general. So that really, really got to the point where I ended up in university, because oddly enough, I did apply because my friend was applying to college for computer science. So I applied too, because I did enjoy it in grade 11 and in grade 12, and I did pretty good at it as well. However, I don't think my mind thinks very much in the logic. I'm more of a language person and a pattern person, and not quite in that. And I remember spending a lot of times trying to figure out why we got a syntax error. But in any event, I had to go to college, and I didn't do well in my math. So they wanted me to take a summer math course. And that was just, well, you know what? I don't think I want to go to college. I'll go to university instead. I did that instead. And that led me to a career in education. Why? Because I was afraid, after a 4-year degree, what am I going to do with a degree in French and Italian? I thought, well, you know what? I like kids. Let me try teaching. And that's how I ended up on that track.
Oh yeah, well, you know what they say, those who know do, and those who don't know teach. And it's a bad joke, but I mean, you mentioned something interesting there. You talked about syntax issues, and ironically, all I've been paying for the past 5 decades is syntax. It's my alcohol, my booze, my weed. These are syntaxes. Anyway, sorry, that's not necessarily.
You're such a bum. I can't believe I married you.
It's not necessarily pertinent. Sorry, that was a joke. Bad joke.
You were a diamond in the rough. I could see it. You sparkled. You had this larger than life, and you still do.
I think your fascination with being a secretary has finally come through. I mean, not finally. Sorry, should I say it was a sleeping element of your job. I think for the most part. I think really teachers are just secretaries for students, running copies, preparing tests, doing lectures, whatever entailed on that, marking, producing results. Sounds like a secretary gig. And you know what? I'm glad you're done with doing your specialty on kids, and now you're serving us and me. So you're now my secretary.
Actually,
and I'm happy to have you there, because no one's protected me better than you, not even me.
I'm actually would have made a great administrative assistant, because I rocked it. And every September, everyone's got to make booklets and copies, and it's humid and the photocopier jams. So I got smart. I just planned. I knew what I was doing for September, and I did all my photocopies in June. And so I left for the summer vacation with everything ready to go for September. And that had served me very well. So while everyone's fighting with the photocopier and trying to figure
I don't see the advice in being such an eager beaver following rules and regulations and stuff like that. Are you suggesting that that's a good thing to do for someone who might have similar baggage?
I wouldn't get into teaching anymore today in education, because for many reasons, which maybe we'll explore in this, but I'll tell you right now, I am a big fan of doing things well.
Well, you see, this is the thing. Our union has been the, I'm not sure what to say, if it's successful or not, but let's just say it's the positive alignment of two very different elements. You with your pragmatic, regimented, and kind of guided path that you may embrace on for your life, and mine being more of a dynamic, shoot from the hip and solve problems afterwards type of approach. I think together the unlikely pairing has kind of given us an interesting yin-yang perspective, one which, if we get to alternate our role properly, alternating current, AC current, if we get to alternate our roles in just the right way, we can't do anything wrong. And I think 2026 is essentially the starting of that, coming to consider the union, the other side's contribution. And even though you may think it's of zero value, giving it the importance of hearing it through, like with actual ears, not just given the time to let the person finish speaking, but you know what? Take that leap of faith and put your head in that person's perspective to try and understand what the point is. Words will never explain it, just like syntax errors. It's bound to happen. You really have to suspend your own disbelief and pretend you're in a movie when you're listening to somebody, to really kind of absorb where they're coming from. And then, of course, you pop out and you kind of balance it with your experience to come up with where you stand on it. I mean, the future is only going to be bright if we can, take the time to smell the coffee, take the time to roll the spliff. Hey, look, I'm talking to you now pre-spliff, and that may or may not ever happen again, but I thought it'd be interesting to roll this out there with a clear mind. I haven't heard myself speak in a while, so it may be interesting for me too. That's a joke, by the way, sarcasm. Get used to it. I got a lot of it. I kind of live my life sarcastically. I think God is the biggest sarcastic element in the world. God, if there is, or consciousness. Totally sarcastic, We're out here trying to figure out life from a consciousness, which is kind of like trying to figure out what dry weather is like when you're in a pool. It's just, you just can't do it. It's not meant to be, but it's fun to try.
Well, I'm glad we've lasted this long, because many don't, and it's not easy. Think about it. You get married, you're starting your careers in there, so you haven't even established your career. You're getting married, you're having kids, there's mortgages, there's debts, there's family obligations. Suddenly that someone that you date who comes across really free and spontaneous has a certain house cleaning regimen and meal specifications that you never see when you're dating. And so going through all of that and trying to parent together, coming from different perspectives and all of that. So when you consider all of the possibilities there, and you're still a young person in your early 20s, so you haven't even really established your own sense of self and confidence out in the world. So I really feel like we've actually hit quite the home run, because there are so many things that at any point, if we didn't have those core values that we were raised with, and that sticking together and focusing on our family, and I think that I think I'm glad that we're here, and I think I'm finally actually finding the time to actually discover myself, and I'm actually getting to know who you are, which is strange when you think about it, that you don't even really know the person you married, and over time you actually discover them and yourself.
Well, you just stepped into it, right? Exactly. It's all about presence, and you're so busy trying to achieve, to reach, measure up, equate, gain, relevance. And at this time, we've kind of hit the wall of needing to do anything. Our focus kind of paid off in a material manner. We still have tons of challenges interpersonally and with our family, with our extended families, and with all the other layers of this fractal life we're living. So really, the refining element of our lives at this point, what I guess is referred to as the third act, is about presence and taking the time to, connect with whatever you're going to connect with. So staying in that moment, as Eckhart Tolle has written a book. It's all about now. And so does that mean there's no dreams in the future? What does wild and crazy look like after you've done it all, or after it seems like you've done it all, or after you don't really feel like there's much to do in your life? Is it travel? Is it mentoring? Is it finally having time with nowhere to be? Yes, it's the last one. Finally having the ability to not have to do shit.
I hear you, and that also entails wearing a bikini. Waking up every morning and putting on the bikini. And the interesting thing is that when I was young and actually had an adorable little body, there was always that sense of self-consciousness of, do I look good in this bikini? And bathing suit shopping was, it was a whole weekend event of 1,000 stores, and how does this fit? And today I put one on and I live in it, and I wet it, and I swim, and I change it, and I put on another one, and it's become my uniform if I'm in a place where weather allows for that. But that's my bit of craziness, in the sense of coming from a regimented and working in an education system where you have to follow a schedule. Someone needs to be supervising those children at all times, to really just realize that I can sit here all day and that's fine, or I can keep myself busy and decide that I'm going to go and spend the day in the garden. That's all up to me, and it actually feels really strange, and it takes some getting used to, but I'm loving it.
So we're all over the place on this, and we're way over the estimated 10-minute intro to our new podcast here.
Since when do you follow the rules?
Well, I mean, that's a very good point. So we have been all over the place on this intro, but let me just distill it down to the mission of this podcast, I guess, or this initiative to do the podcast. It may never happen, so just warning out there, we're not necessarily reliable in this type of thing, but neither should anyone be. You should do what feels right at the time. And we're doing this podcast to document the joy of finally slowing down enough to see the blessings we were too busy to notice before. So let's toast with our coffee mugs.
Coffee chair.
And invite you to join us next week when we tackle the first topic. And that is, what's the third act?
Oh, I look forward to that.
Be well, and be blessed later.